Good evening and welcome to another wonderful weekend of Overwatch League action. Overwatch 2 is now officially released, and we can all enjoy the game that we have been watching the pros play. I'm Achilles, and this time I am joined by a very special guest. It's going to be Trid, who is holding down things for the entire weekend with me. So welcome, Trid. It's a pleasure. First cast for you and I.
Yeah, all this time and finally get to share a broadcast together. I've been spending a lot of time with your co-caster this season. Avril and I had a fair few casts just to plug in some of the gaps in the calendar. But we got two exciting games today, kicking things off with Spark versus the Dynasty, which should be quite interesting if you're a Dynasty fan. Maybe not so much if you're a Spark fan, Seth.
Yeah, I think that that's a decent summary of how things have been going. Dynasty have just continued to be on top of everything, on top of the world right now when it comes down to the eastern region. But Hangzhou Spark has been showing us flashes of brilliance as we've gone through this season. They have competed, they have looked strong, they just haven't really been able to close out series, especially here in the Countdown Cup qualifiers. But here's the standings as we go ahead and take a little peek. Hangzhou Spark desperately nipping at the heels of the Philly Fusion, who currently find themselves in that third place spot.
Yeah, and also another divide that's opened up in this latter half of the season, Seth, is the Seoul Dynasty and the Shanghai Dragons. They were pretty much neck and neck down to the end of the Summer Showdown.
Yep.
The Countdown Cup, it's not gone so well for the Dragons, but Dynasty's still looking as strong as ever, and that's enabled them to pull ahead. Of course, they've both secured their places in playoffs already. Still a little bit of an open field down below.
We did see, Dragons somewhat have a bit of return to form recently, being able to pull off a reverse sweep. Fleta looking incredible on the Tracer and whatnot, so perhaps that trend is going to continue. It can take a little bit of time sometimes for the Dragons to fully download what the meta is and really fit into the playstyle. We'll have to just wait and see. But going into our first series here, let's go ahead and take a look at the Hangzhou Sparks, see what they're rocking for that opening five-man squad, because we have been seeing Gushwei in from time to time. And okay, here we go. Pineapple is in. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, much like a pizza party, you don't really expect to see Pineapple turning up, but here he is in the roster. I think the last time we saw him... Hey, you know what? I may have made that joke, Seth, but I'm actually a pineapple on pizza advocate, so I don't...
Wonderful.
Let's not start the war. I think we're both aligned on this fact. Anyone else we might have had a little bit of conflict with. But no, I think the last time we saw Pineapple was in the mid-season madness, so they've had a little bit of off time from the main roster, probably meta-dependent. First time we're seeing them here in the Countdown Cup, so I'd be interested to see how the Spark are going to utilize this player that has seen a lot of bench time recently.
Yeah, it's a really curious adjustment to make here, especially just kind of given the meta, given that we have seen some incredible performances from Alpha Yi as of late. Even in the losses, he and Shai continue to look overall quite strong. So it is a very curious swap to be making at this stage, but it seems like Hangzhou Spark is saying, look, we got to do something desperate. Let's go ahead, throw anything at the wall, see what sticks, and maybe Pineapple is going to be the fix here for them. We'll have to just wait and see how he plays alongside this roster. Maybe this is a one-map thing with Control. We'll have to just see what exactly he's going to be bringing to the table. On the opposite side of the coin, though, it is the Seoul Dynasty, so we'll go ahead and zoom in on their starting five. But as we've been seeing throughout this entire qualifier stage, there's nothing really shocking that's going to be going on here. It still will be the Profits duo in DPS.
Yeah, 100%. They're just going to sit there in that damage lineup. It's great to see Profit back in the damage role after his brief foray into playing support in the Summer Showdown. Smurf has been an absolute monster this stage as well, expecting to see more of that. And the acquisition of Iris has been going fantastically for them. So the Dynasty has just improved their stonks as the season has gone on. And like I said, they're looking pretty hot right now to close out on a high.
Yeah, and I was even saying, to Avril last week, like the Iris edition, the swap for creative, it almost even feels like a bit of a side grade. But the fact that he has been able to slot into the team and have such clear communication with him, such synergy in such a short period of time is incredible. And it's a real statement, I think, to the coaching structure that the Dynasty have going on this season, as well as just these players individually and how skilled they are. Because if you turn the nameplates off, I would say, like, oh yeah, that's still creative. He's still playing incredibly well. But no, it's a completely different guy, and they look absolutely impeccable. The Hangzhou Spark, though, they're going to be looking to commit some highway robbery here and try to steal a series away from the Seoul Dynasty. We have seen this team in the pink have so many strong starts in their series and then not be able to close it out. They need to have a strong start, and they need to be able to get it done if they want to walk away with the win. It would be a huge boon to them. It would be, I think, their first victory in the Countdown Cup qualifier, because it has been a really rocky road for them so far.
Yeah, and I think the great way to start this series was, I think you joked about it when we were doing a little bit of setup stuff, is that Dynasty tend to struggle a little bit on that first round of Oasis win, and then things pick up back again. Thankfully for the Spark, they might have a saving grace. They might be able to snatch away some early momentum, so I'm fairly certain that's our first map of this series. So maybe if they can finally close out an Oasis against the Dynasty, they'll be looking pretty good, and hopefully carry forth more of that into the rest of the series.
Yeah, need to be able to get that victory. So we'll see. Like, you know, it has been some very rocky starts on Control in particular. It just seems like Dynasty have consistently, in this meta right now, kind of just, I don't know, needed that little warm-up, that one round where they get bodied, they go down to 99%, and then suddenly the clutch factor kicks in. And they're like, okay, now we remember how to win, and then they just close it from there. But here we go. Oasis is going to be our first map. As we go into Control, then it's going to be Eichenwald, Circuit Royale, and if we can go beyond the 3 maps, Colosseo as well as Nepal for the whole 5 shebang. We'll have to see what happens. So this is very much onus on the Hangzhou Spark to show up.
And we won't be seeing any surprises, I imagine, from the composition, unless that's what Pineapple's going to bring to the table and they're going to completely mix things up. But it's been fairly stable, I say. Smurfs had a lot of play time on the Zarya and the Winston, so expect more of that. And of course, there's a lot of Sombra, Tracer, a bit of Sojourn thrown into the mix, some Genji here and there. So it's been fairly stable, but we should see them roll out. Let's keep an eye on what Spark do and what role Pineapple is going to fulfill in this current meta. I imagine because Shy's gone over to the Sombra, we're probably going to see something like a Tracer or a Genji to support some kind of dive. But Bernard's sitting on the Diva for now as well, so there's a bit of tank flex to kick things off.
All right, well, gates opened, battle commencing. Jump up over the top, Fitz getting himself onto the high ground, scouting. And you can see all of Dynasty really going to be going over towards the jump pad. Hangzhou Spark taking street side as Smurf just going to be hopping across, gets himself on top of Bernard, piloting that Diva for now. Obviously the beam, not going to care too much about it. The Matrix can go ahead and cut straight through it. Not much damage going to be found either. Era's going to get jumped on there for a brief little moment. Smurf throws over the bubble, helps keep him protected. The DPS back away. Era's now going to be dropping off the high ground. He's going to turn his sights over towards the members of the Hangzhou Spark, trying to get down dirty. But so far, he's going to be hacked again. Under fire, the healing comes in. Vinheim helping to keep him alive. The bullets as well, though, going to run out. They could not keep him in the fight. That's going to be both the supports down, as the Hangzhou Spark will be able to take the first lockdown of the point.
That's twice that the Dynasty were able to stabilize after the Sombra hack, but unfortunately that second time around, the extra damage coming in from Teru made sure Iris went down, and it just folds the fight for the rest of the Seoul Dynasty. Great presence of mind for the Smurf in that first dive to be able to slip a bubble despite having really difficult LOS, but they were a little bit focused there. They weren't able to jump in with the assist. Have racked up a lot of ultimate charge for themselves, though, 72% in climbing, so that grab is going to come online so fast for the Dynasty to use in probably this next fight if it begins to go well for them.
Yeah, good lord. I mean, he's outpacing Vinheim right now. He's basically keeping up with Irony as far as the ult charge is concerned. So, an incredible showing thus far from Smurf. Prophet about to have a pulse bomb to match against Pineapple, but Teru is actually the one who finds that opening kill. It's on top of Vinheim, finds the kill. Hack goes into the back line there, looking for Teru. Iris actually going to get the enemy Tracer, gets Shy as well, and Iris just takes down both of the DPS. He says, "You're diving me. I think not. I'm diving on you." Cuts him down to size. Nano now going to be invested. It actually goes over onto Teru, trying to see if he can do a little bit of Iris's work here, but he's going to be zoned back out towards the street by Smurf, who's mid-energy, but still enough to get the job done. Turns over to the side, helps take him down to the end, and that's going to be the jump out from Shy, who does survive for a brief little second, but Prophet manages to hand him down, so the flip comes in. Dynasty now in control. 54%, however, set up from the Hangzhou Spark.
Yeah, Prophet collecting a little bit of extra interest on the end there on the investment of winning that fight. Now looking at how the Spark go back into this one. Smurf sitting on that Graviton Surge, able to accumulate it. They'd won the fight by the time he got to the old one Hundo, so now you're going to be running straight into that one. Burner is playing a Diva, so we always have to have the contingency that a Consume comes in here from somewhere. But looking more likely that Spark might be running into a lost fight here, just based off of old economy alone.
Need to get something done. Need a miracle pick from this Pulse Bomb. There's the EMP, though. And, okay, Iris going to fall over. Fitz does manage to equalize, and now the Zenyatta's going to be out of the fight. Said it's not going to be found, though. Dynasty unable to utilize that one. Now down an extra member as Prophet gets taken down as well. Hack out from Fitz, just kind of using Bernard as a bit of an ult battery. Gets a little bit of extra damage through, but now Vinheim is going to be taken down. Smurf left out to dry. Ends up falling. Seoul Dynasty going to be losing control of the point. Can't quite equalize the percentage, so now going to be falling further and further behind as the Hangzhou Spark retake.
Yeah, good stabilization there after the Fitz EMP. They were able to deflect the attack coming in from Profit. I think there was a main fight happening around the point, which kind of distracted the rest of the team from getting involved in our backline perspective we were able to see. And then once Irony gets the kill onto Profit, that's it. There's no real option there for the Seoul to keep the fight. Do have options to retake still, but after what they were looking for a lean fight win, unable to pull that one off, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive on the retake.
Bit of delay on the EMP. Shy lost his translocator, but there's the dive. This time Ira's going to be left out by himself. Ends up falling. Back onto the Mega Pack. Fitz as well has to make his exit. Good damage up from Pineapple. Hangzhou Spark looking good to hold the point and try to take this round. Ult still held. Smurf still has this grab, and maybe we'll never see it used. There's the EMP. Slipped onto the back end of it, but Vinheim manages to go down at the end. Pineapple was there to capitalize. They find the kills. This is where that clutch factor definitely needs to show through for the side of the Dynasty. It's the touch for the OT is there. Dash in. Profit manages to extend it a little bit longer. Transcendence out from Iris. Now escorts them forward. Self-destruct, pulse bomb. Nano boost nearly online here for the side of the Hangzhou Sparks. 3 ults to work with to try to survive this grab as Smurf does rejoin. No energy to speak of, however, so isn't much of a threat for now. It still needs to make it through this team matrix.
Smurf has to pull
the Nano comes in. He pins it to the corner. Manages to find the Demon. Gets him on the opposite side of the wall. But Profit and Vinheim both going to be taken down. Fitz sleeping. And they so desperately needed that EMP that we will not get to see. So it's 100% to 52. Dynasty dropped the first round of Oasis.
I mean, we did call this.
We did.
We did call the first round not going the right way. Really kind of disappointing there that the Seoul Dynasty weren't able to capitalize on that incredibly fast grab from Smurf. And right at the end there, it was just forced. If Smurf didn't get the grab out, he was going to die to the Nano Burner running straight at him. So definitely not efficient use of that. You could tell they wanted to go for a lean cycle of ultimates on their defense, but it wasn't going to work out that time around. There's the pickoff we saw where Iris activated Skynet and became a Terminator for a bit, taking out both the options of the dive. Now we move on to Gardens as our next destination.
Don't expect to see many adjustments here. Looks like Vinheim, okay, thinking about going for the Lucio for a brief moment, but says no, we'll stick with the Ana, so we will have mirrored matchups aside from the tank roll. Smirch still sticking through with the Zarya. Bernard keeping the Diva. High ground contest now coming out. Pineapple, first one to really make battle here against the Dynasty. As he's got a nice little lead, 30% already built up towards that pulse bomb. Profit staggering behind just a little bit here. Recalls directly on top of Pineapple, now needs to make his exit. Hacker on the back, Fitz doing much of the same, finds Irony, but they break line of sight. Still pumping some damage through, but look at Teru again. Coming up huge, finds both the supports.
He's just been a difference maker and just getting that extra bit of damage over the line to find these picks in the early fights. He did it on City Center, he's doing it again. And it's pulling out dividends for the Spark. They pull ahead quite nicely there in the first engagement and get themselves the cap. And now it's up for the Seoul Dynasty to run into them. Smurf not having the same ult generation they had the previous fights. It's quite stagnated. They have got a Profit Pulse Bomb potentially to assassinate Terror or Irony before any of those defensive abilities come online.
All right, well, off to a good start once more here, the Hangzhou Spark. All to the point, taking up 20% built up now as Iris goes hunting, sees Pineapple around that corner, desperately wants him to go ahead and swing out for a peek, but is not able to do so. But okay, Fitz does get on top of him, finds that elimination. Pineapple now going to be out of the fight, but Shy gets taken, gets the kill out here on Vinheim, is what I mean to say. Terror as well, again, just juiced up. Not going to be nanoed quite yet. Maybe they're going to need it here as Bernard and Shy both get taken down. Terror will just fall. That'll be the flip. Dynasty now gaining control. 41% set up for the Spark this time around. But look at the ults.
Yeah, much faster on the retake than they were last time. But now, like I said, we don't want to see them go for the mistake. Might want to try and go through a lean ultimate cycle again as they did on City Center. But I would rather them just commit to it and not lose it like they did last time. There's got a lot of pressure going to come in from the Spark. They've got a few ultimates of their own. The Transcendence from Teru, the Nano Boost, which might go over to Bernard again and just turn him into even more of a raid boss. And that self-destruct is always going to be an option on the out as well. You see Fitz setting up, getting control of the Mega, and finding a route of ingress to track this EMP. Actually kills the Translocator instead to stop the report back from Shy, opens it up for his team.
Very beautifully done. We get the catch. That's one of the ults out of the fight for now. He'll be coming back through. So we're going to have a 4v5 in the ult regard here. As Profit tries to get that next pulse ready to go. Fits around the back. EMP comes in. Taro instantly gets evaporated. Now they're looking for Irony as well. Unable to find the kill so far, but damage very much done. Hack out on the Bernard. Just looking to build up towards that next one. As it's just time and time again, Dynasty looking to gum up the work, slow things down for the Spark.
Yeah, much better that time. You can see Prophet right in the face of Teru the second that EMP landed. Just needs a little bit of burst to finish it off as well, and at that point, the rest of the Spark back off. Someone needs to get on point and touch. It shouldn't have to be Shy. It is going to be in it. Force him to move around.
Doesn't get it done. Doesn't get any healing, though. EMP is still going to be held. It's going to be Transcendence in advance of it. Also nanoed up, so kind of layering these ults together. Era's not going to be able to get too much value out of this, but what a sleep from Vinheim. Put Shy on the floor. There's no follow-up to the EMP. Pulse pump up from Prophet, manages to find Irony. Grab, they do get to it. They are able to survive it. So I mean to say here is it's going to be a bit of back and forth. Here's some Spurs both going to be falling now. Vinheim out of the fight. It's just going to be Fitz and Prophet trying to fight back, but the point has already been flipped into the favor of the Hangzhou Spark. Looks like they're going to be holding this one now for a considerable amount of time. Prophet dashing away, trying to escape, breaks line of sight away from Pineapple. So does manage to slink out of there, but Hangzhou Spark now in control.
Yeah, you don't get to interrupt the EMP from from Shy. The Vinheim Sleep Dart afterwards made sure it was just Pineapple trying to burn down Iris, and then with a Vinheim pocket, it's never going to happen, so the support line stays up. Afterwards, though, Pineapple gets back on his feet, changes target, starts spraying down people, so the rest of the team reconvenes. Good EMP to open it up, and Teru's already gone.
Yep, another great one. Looks for the follow-up hack, unable to find him, and Prophet is still doing work on the back end. Irony taken down, so now no support for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. This whole Dynasty have already flipped the point, and Bernard is trying to escape, but he will not be allowed to do so. Actually commits the self-destruct to this one, just trying to make it back into the mech because they know that this is going to be final fight. He does get spotted, pulse pump at the ready, goes up over the top, gets slapped, and he goes up the side. Vinheim completely shuts him down. What a play from Vinheim. Finds him, and that might have just won them around. That one little play completely closes it out. They stop the touch, they stop him being able to buy more time for the respawns to come through. And the Dynasty will once more win a second round on Oasis.
I was kind of worried there about the stall because we obviously had the POV from Fitz on the, on Prophet on the Tracer. And I was like, okay, he's going to let him go. Maybe he throws the Pulse Bomb as he's flying away and just make sure the D-Mech comes through really quickly. I was like, oh, he didn't throw the Pulse Bomb. Well, they're in trouble. There might be a bit of stall here. And then we just switched to a beautiful angle from observers just to see a sleepy mech head into the abyss. Vinheim's been really on point there at the end with the sleep darts and able to just find out some clutch moments. Final map of Oasis, though, does it keep to the script that we outlined at the beginning? Seth, are we going to be walking out here with a Dynasty win after they lose that first round and they found their bearings in this matchup against the Spark?
And we'll have to just wait and see. Prophet swapping over to the Genji, so a bit of an adjustment. I thought maybe we would see the Symmetras because we did have a little minor showing from those. And they have pounded on University. Fitz slinking around the back, sees the hack, sees that translocator, is waiting for the call to destroy. He's already out of stealth, actually. He's playing this one very riskily, but there you go. It's going to be destroyed by Shy, probably getting a sense that it had been spotted. Point contest now coming through. Pineapple down to half, rejoins in with the rest of the team, gets some TLC from his supports, goes right back onto the front lines. Into the back lines, though, is Shy, looking for the pick here on the Iris, but the follow-up is just not there. Puts a good amount of damage down, but Vinheim was able to keep him protected with that boot back.
Yeah, so Dynasty, they can just step onto the point just to contest it. They're not going to let the flip come through.
Fitz.
Hold on to this for now. He's going down low. He's still surviving. He's able to recon get health. Now Prophet seems to be the area of focus.
Yep, good boot back. Gets some distance there against Bernard. Point flip nearly there for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, who just not able to break through this, not able to clear this out long enough to be able to get this into their control. TP out from Fitz, keeps himself alive. Shy gonna be first to build up on that pulse, or that EMP, I should say. Pulse bomb out from Pineapple. Not gonna find a stick, doesn't find a pick, but the Hangzhou Spark can finally clear things out. They managed to get the flip into their favor. Now Bernard is gonna be taking down the sound barrier out from Vinheim. That's the go button here for the side of the Dynasty. They surge forward. They find both the supports. They find Pineapple, and that's gonna be a flip right back into their favor. 32% creeping up now. So Hangzhou Spark were only able to get 13.
A lot of resources available for the Dynasty to start this defense as well. Prophet Blade available in this next fight.
Bonds with one of his own, actually does find the kills. It's going to be a massive trade up here for the Hangzhou Spark. Smurf falling low. Breaks around the corner, the hack does connect, however. Still just lobbing in these right clicks, but the Transcendent's going to be held. Teru's still safe, not feeling the need to use it quite just yet, but they still need to gain control at this point. Pulse bomb out from Pineapple once more, not going to be able to find its stick. Doesn't get a kill, but Smurf does get taken down. That's going to be a big boon here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, who do now gain control.
Teru's just throwing hands from the center of the map right now. His team walks forward, a director of destruction, throwing the Discord orbs, hitting the orbs as well, just to deal that damage. And Smurf got absolutely deleted at the start of that fight, so I'm assuming that was probably a right-click coming in with some description just to try and burst him down quickly. But once he's removed from the field, you lose a lot of the protection at the back line, and you, of course, lose the grab. Now, you're going to have to go and attack. Grab thrown out straight away. Finds free. They're getting into the face. Deflection. Pineapple spinning to dodge the headshots, but won't find it. Somehow Shy finds Iris, and no one dies!
No one dies. They didn't have the ante on top of that one. Iris got dealt with. They just had nothing to deny that Transcendence healing you need to have. That Bionade layered in on top of the grab once that comes through, but didn't get it. Now the Hangzhou Spark, they managed to stay alive through that fight. Transcendence is down, the blade still held. Now they have the nano to go with. It's still a good opportunity here for the side of the Seoul Dynasty, but they are running out of time.
They're about to have their percentage met. They are just inside the realm of that final fight territory. Big anti-nade, but there's the Dragon Blade coming in.
Prophet needs to come up huge here, and he has so far. Finds 3, knows that the others are just a little bit out of reach. Makes his way over to the point. Fitz is here to back him up. The other 3 members dead. The flip about to happen, but there is the contest. Prophet down low. Almost no HP to speak of. Tries to make his exit, but Shy is there. Catches him. Mid-dash. Manages to find the punish. Now, the cap getting ready to come through. Hangzhou Spark just 10% away from being able to close out this map. Smurf swaps over to the Doomfist. Fitz under fire. The touch going to have to be there rather soon.
Vindame's on the Lucio. It's a good option to try and get back there and touch quickly. He's escorting a lot of people back. Prophet's on the point. Dashes away immediately. It does trigger the overtime.
It nearly gives his life for that one. Goes straight back in. Extends this. The EMP online. Finds Vinhame in the back lines. And there is the kill. Here's as well under fire. The pulse bomb this time. Pineapple gets the stick. The cleanup is coming through. Smurf is down. It's all on Prophets. The duo to try to make a miracle happen. But against 5, against the Diva, it just does not seem possible. And it is not. Fitz arrives once more, is instantly greeted with death, and as it will burn down, there is the closeout. The Hangzhou Spark put their right foot forward. They managed to close out the first map. Oasis is theirs. It's a 1-0 start over the Seoul Dynasty.
For someone who hasn't had a lot of playtime in the Spark this season, Pineapple is playing fantastically well with Shy. I think every time we've got a Shy POV of an EMP setup on the backline, Pineapple, within milliseconds, is in the face of Iris, is in the face of Vindame, taking down these targets and assassinating. Also throw Teru into the mix, who's just been over their shoulders, constantly backing them up. This dive from Spark is looking absolutely fantastic right now.
I mean, Teru in particular, as you mentioned, he's just been fragging out of control. We saw a bit of it from Iris, but Teru at the end, he's the one with the, in the spotlight, head held high. Helped get his team over the line to close out the first map. But what a start here from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. I mean, right now, you can see Pineapple, he's still sat in his chair. I don't think that we're going to be seeing a swap, so it seems like Alfie going to be out for the time being. Seems like it's going to be very much the Tracer that they want to stick to. And, maybe if we get to a Genji map, that's when we'll see Alfie subbing back through. But what a closeout from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. That's just the first hurdle, though. I think this is the second map that we've seen this Seoul Dynasty drop so far in the Countdown Cup qualifiers. So still have their work cut out for them. Do the Hangzhou Spark. We know that the Dynasty can come back from being down. We'll have to see if they manage it, though, as we get ready to go into our second map. That's going to be Eichenwald for Hybrid. So don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues. We'll see if the Dynasty tie up the score or if the Hangzhou Spark are going to be able to get a very nice lead and take this to match point when we return from the break. And we are back, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Hangzhou Spark. Dynasty not quite able to clutch things out on that final round of University. Means that Hangzhou Spark are able to take Oasis 2-1. Now we look forward to Hybrid, which is going to be Eichenwald, to see if this series gets tied up or if the Hangzhou Spark are going to be able to pull off an incredible upset, set the stage, manage to find themselves at match point against the Dynasty. We'll have to just wait and see.
Yeah, it'd be out of character for the Dynasty to let it go that far, but Spark have been really impressive so far from what we've seen. Seth, Oasis has been a fantastic performance of their dive. Shy and Pineapple have been working well, despite not necessarily having the most play time on the stage, so to speak, on stage. And Terry's been fantastic as well. So I'm expecting Dynasty to have a quick recollection of thoughts, find ways to start dealing with that, and maybe throwing a little bit more support towards the backline if they're still running out with this Sombra Tracer dive as we move on to, as you said, Eichenwald.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what the comps look like once we jump into the action. Let's see, Pineapple is still here, so I'm expecting a lot more Tracer. And you were seeing some praises of him at the end of that map, as well as Teru. And I happen to agree. He looked incredibly strong on that Tracer as far as his just neutral damage was concerned. The pulse bump sticks, leaving a little bit more to be desired, I guess. Only managed to find, I think, one throughout that entire round of Oasis, all 3 rounds. But overall, his neutral damage was looking impeccable. So it's definitely a threat to be reckoned with here. So Dynasty definitely going to need to show him a bit of respect, despite the fact that we've only seen Pineapple once or twice throughout this season. Looks like a day hasn't gone by since the last time we saw him play.
As I said, I'm just impressed at how well he's working with the team. You'd expect that they were scrimming a lot in the background. Looking at the rollout, though, no change from the Oasis composition from the Hangzhou Spark. They're still keeping it the same, rolling out with that damage lineup and keeping everything else the same. Bernard, of course, staying on the Diva. Doesn't surprise me that much. I wonder if we'll see some flex from Smurf to move away from the Zarya. Maybe want to entertain the idea of doing a Winston at some point, but we'll see how the rest of the series progresses.
First on the attack for the Dynasty. See how they fare as the doors get ready to open up. Prophet for now. I was going to say, there's no shot that he's going to be coming out with a Sojourn. Goes back over onto the Tracer. And, yeah, I mean, Bernard continues on the Diva. Has been good so far. Shy just setting out a couple shots, only able to get a couple to connect, so not going to be too much in the way of the EMP build.
Going to be pathing through at the moment, just try and find a little bit of damage off to the side. Not holding close to the choke. They've accidentally bumped into each other.
Oh.
And Fitz is now caught isolated.
Yep, they have. Fitz making his exit, jumps back here into the castle, sets up another translocate. Smurf getting chunked on the approach, just hugging on the backside. That wreckage is now going to be antied out, so very much slowed down here is the approach from the side of the Dynasty, but it is a bit of a split attention right now from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. They have to be wary about Fitz in that back line, but Pineapple manages to find Iris, gets on top of him, the headshots ring true, they get the kill. Now Smurf going to be taken down, so any energy that he had built up now going to be nullified, slows the roll in that build towards the grab, and the first volley is dealt with. It's a minute drained from the clock now. Hangzhou Spark looking strong.
A little bit of an element of Iris calling an ambulance for someone else there, staring down the barrel of a Zarya in his face with, looked like moderate energy coming out from that main weapon. I was worried for Iris going down, but you obviously see Pineapple get a pick, and it obviously sets everything up for a counter-attack. Not having the resources to keep pressing forward, everyone collapsed around to protect Teru, and it does make things a little bit easier to withstand Smurf's aggression. Now back on Prophet, who's hacked up. Oh, this is bad.
Oh. Gets bogged into the corner as well. Pineapple gets on top of him. They find that kill. Now it's going to be nearly half the time bank drained down. Seoul Dynasty needing to exit, needing to reset. Fitz continues to harass around the back end. The EMP nearly online, so still he's keeping himself ahead of Shy in that regard, but not by too much. 9% separating them now.
Oh, the camp. Wait for it.
Okay. Gets the destroy, but they haven't spy checked him.
Always plan an exit.
So Fitz widely going to be okay. Okay, there's the EMP out. They get on top of Teru. Deny that Transcendence from being able to come out. Irony. Still alive. Still holds on to the Nano. Dynasty just now starting to approach the point. Shy going to be spotted. Jumped on. Pulse pop. What a white throw there from Prophet. Doesn't even make his way into the door. He just chucks that one out. Name now going to be traded out as Irony has fallen. Terror trying to make his way back. Does still hold on to this Transcendence. We'll see if he wants to use it in the fight with Shy going down. Bernard out of there. In all likelihood, it's probably best to just go ahead and hold on to it. Ira still falling a bit low. Pineapple manages to dash around the flank. Gets that kill, but cannot deny the cap. So 3 minutes, 45 seconds in the time bank here for the Seoul Dynasty as they finally get the lockdown on point A. It cost them a hell of a lot to make it happen.
An uncommon, I'd say an uncommon there, zoning pulse bomb from Profit.
Yeah.
It does lock them in the room. I think that definitely wasn't intentional. Thankfully, the rest of the fight was being cleaned up by Dynasty, so it wasn't the be-all and end-all. They were able to finally break free. They got a 3 minute 20 time bank, so not ideal, but it's still serviceable. And Shy is already setting up his route of ingress to try and get an EMP on the back line.
Ira's taking a nasty chunk there. So for now, the cart going to be steadily creeping forward. They need to have a very swift street space here, though, due to the Dynasty, if they want to be able to finish this map with time. Shy waiting for his moment to strike. So far has not been spotted. EMP at the ready, lets it loose, finds two. Profit and Iris both going to be hacked out, but the follow-up is not there. Pineapple unable to get on top of the enemy's Zenyatta. So Iris still just going to be sitting pretty. Perfectly safe as now Fitz 10% away from an EMP of his own to try to really break through these defenses and get this cart across the bridge. Profit going to be hacked out. Taro finds the elimination. Profit taken. Done here. Shy narrowly escaped with his life off the back end of that pick, but that's enough to really slow things down.
Yeah, that EMP felt a little bit rushed from Shy. Both targets were on the edge of LOS. Like, they barely got hit by it, and then they were able to jump behind cover so quickly there was no follow-up for it. So did allow Spark to press forward a little and take some space, but not the conversion we've seen from them so far.
Already, 2 minutes remaining. Cart inching. Dive here in the back line. Iris offering up some orbs of harmony, trying to keep everybody alive. He himself has managed to survive, and I'm not sure what Teru's Transcendence was in response to, actually. Pulse Bomb wasn't out, grab not used. Maybe the EMP from Fitz, but either way, they do find Smurf on the back end of the fight. Gets taken down, Nano Boost thrown out onto Bernard, just charging forward, finds the supports, has them completely corralled into the stairwell, and Pineapple's here to play. Gets the kill on Eventheim, Shy gets Iris, and once more the Dynasty, just suffering. It's a great sleep. Fitz executed. Now 1 minute 20 seconds remaining here, Trid.
Yeah, a bit of a Teru tax at the end there. I feel like Spark have just been a little bit more liberal with their ultimate usage than Seoul Dynasty have this series so far. Feels like, yeah, Teru dropping a Transcendence probably not ideal. Just committing the Nano Boost into a fight when it's basically won already. They're just showing they're just not being scared to do it. Oh, Profit.
Dude, Irony and Teru. Just been incredible.
They've been Terrors.
Yeah. Absolutely have been. Great sleep darts here from Irony. And I mean, those two, the only ones that don't have ults, but right now it seems like they're fairly self-sufficient, so maybe they don't need them. Bernard holds on to the self-destruct. Pineapple will depulse, and the EMP pocketed here from Shy. Finds Profit, looks for the hack, he dashes away, manages to break that one, but Terror just takes his head off! The comms right now from the side of the Hangzhou Spark are clearly just immaculate. Iris now dead off the back of the sleep. Shy finds the kill, pushes in, looks for a little bit more. He's going to be safe, though, because here comes Bernard with the D-Matrix.
20 seconds!
Able to scoop the kill.
20 seconds and any of the flanking options to touch the point are constantly being shut down by the 360 rotation of Teru's head. Doesn't matter where you go, he has eyes everywhere. Someone is going to have to touch. It's going to have to be Profit. If Teru has his number, I remind you, Fitz might be able to decloak here as well. If all left the point, if he decloaks, he can just go for a back cap, but Burner's got an option to get there quite quickly. Pineapple's going to be the one to contest for now, and Shy's coming in. Here's the rest of the team. They bought enough time.
If they push their way through the castle, the grab still held. Smurf just has not been able to find an opportunity to really use this one. Now needs to try to pilot around the D-Matrix of Bernard, but there's the EMP. Smurf going to be one of the big targets here, but Transcendence does come out. Great stick into the back line. Pineapple finds Eventheim, and now the heal's going to be cut down into half. Self-destruct up over the top. Smurf not going to get clipped by that one. Thought maybe he was going to be at risk, but does manage to survive. Nano Boost out from Irony. Goes on to Bernard. Contests the cart. Smurf going to be taken down. Eventheim desperately trying to swap over to something, but there's no one to keep the cart rolling. And there's the closeout just at the end of the bridge as far as it goes. And it's a very real win condition locked in for the side of the Hangzhou Spark Dynasty. Need to have an impeccable defense, but given the way that they're playing right now, Trid, the disjointedness, I just don't see it happening. I think Hangzhou Spark might be able to find a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, 2-0 lead definitely on the card here, Seth. I mean, we were entertaining the idea of a 3-0 for the Dynasty coming into this series. We might be right about the scoreline, but wrong about the victor at this rate. Spark have been playing absolutely amazingly. Right at the end there as well, a solo grab from Smurf onto Shy just to lock down a very slippery Sombra. Probably not the most efficient use they were looking for. Spark are well away from that, but they need to keep the fight on the point. A lot of attention still being paid over to Iris and Vindame on the back line, which meant you had an isolated Smurf on the point, and he just gets burnt down by the Spark committing more members than they need to just to get the takedown. What this has done, whether it's a map change or whatever, Smurf is now entertaining the idea that Zarya might not be the pick here and has gone over to the Diva in an attempt to change things up.
Very bizarre. Smurf has been... inflexible isn't even the correct word because he hasn't really had to make adjustments. He's been so strong on the Zarya, but he just has not been able to find the timings here with the rest of the team to be able to find value from the Graviton Surge. So it seems like he is going to be going for this Diva, try to keep everybody protected as the gates open up. Supernar waiting, now going to be matching. So I think for really the first time in APAC, we're going to get some Diva v Diva.
Did you expect that today when you woke up?
Nope.
We'd have a Diva mirror matchup in APAC. Always continues to deliver. Oh, Shy. Caught in 4K.
It bounces off the wall and it hits him in the forehead. It's okay. Fairly short cooldown. Jumps over the top. Here comes the slide. Just manipulating. Beautifully done. Gets it over the opposite side of the wall. And now can play up front here against the team. And he finds Fitz right as he goes for the hack onto the health pack. And they cannot get the punish to take him down to 19 HP, but he manages to jump away. Prophet does actually hound him down. Quick dashes over to the castle. Great pursuit from him to go ahead and equalize. But now, point going to be occupied here by the Hangzhou Spark. Starting to tick up. Prophet dashes through, keeps it contested. Pineapple trying to track him. See him desperately trying to keep pace here against Prophet, but as far as the pace is concerned towards the pulse bombs, Pineapple is weighing out big. 85% built up.
The worst part about that kill there, Seth, I think if Shy didn't mess up the translocator, he probably isn't in position to capitalize on that and get a kill. His mistake was converted into a dub.
That's very true. Just happy little accidents there. As Teru again finds a kill. Fit's going to be taking down the pulse bomb stick this time. Goes out onto Iris. They find the elimination. Smurf's broken out of the mech, and that is going to be a breakthrough here on point A. They've already gotten the second tick. The third one about to happen. It is a 5-minute time bank now that the Dynasty need to chew through if they want to be victorious. Otherwise, the Hangzhou Spark are in fact going to be moving up to match point.
This is not the result that's expected. One of my favorite things, Seth, is when we do this, obviously the North American audience is probably asleep right now, for the main part.
Sure.
They obviously wake up and they get updates on Twitter, and they get updates when they watch the Encore match. They're going to check Twitter. I'm not expecting for this series. I'm going to watch people like Ms. Liz, like Mold on Twitter about APAC just being...
It's great. See the ooh, okay, the sleepy heads come wake up. What a dive in from Prophet. Stick, if he had hit it, it would have been a highlight play for sure. But now, even with a recall, he's not in a safe spot. The sleep connects, but they wake him up a little bit prematurely.
How's he still alive?
Under fire, but somehow Prophet makes it out of there with his life. That should not have happened. Either way, Hangzhou Spark still dictating the pace of the fight for now as the ults continue to come online. Pineapple lapping Prophet, nearly has his second pulse ready to go.
Steady pace as well on this payload. They're halfway through that first section.
Oh,
EMP. Good
the trance comes out. Iris now taken down. Shy able to just answer back, and that EMP not going to find a damn thing for the side of the Dynasty. Vinham as well, crumbling under the pressure. The hack onto Smurf as he goes up onto the high ground. It's down low with that mech. HP bar right now. You see they're chasing in. Pineapple gets the break. And it just feels like the Dynasty are tripping over themselves right now. 2 left feet, and they cannot tango.
They are not able to find any setup whatsoever. Pineapple now just playing gatekeeper on these doors. Spy checking, trying to find out where Fitz might be hiding. This is going to be a rush out the spawn to try and contest this one. They got the bomb, they got nano boost. Spark have options here to just win it out with a sizable time back remaining.
They do.
Contest.
It's only been 2 minutes to get to this point. They're already knocking on the doors of a 2-0 lead. Smurf's going low, has that self-destruct. He's going to have to let it loose. Transcendence out now as well from Iris, just to try to keep everybody alive. Bernard going to be nanoed, goes into the back line.
Prophet.
Taylor, whoever, does fall, sleep on a Prophet, but Fitz has him covered, it would seem. Venheim taken down. Bernard with the rockets, manages to find the pick. And the Dynasty, they need to stay glued to this point. They need to stay on this cart if they want to keep things contested. They want to stop this win from going over to the side of the Hangzhou Spark. The kill's still being found, but Irony gets the better of Prophet, just duking it out with a 1v1. Self-destruct now. Invested, looks for the remake. They cannot deny it. Bernard makes his way back in. Terror, however, is not here, so Bernard is just going to get broken right back out of it, and the Seoul Dynasty will be able to win this one out. But now they need to be worried about backcaps because there is a Tracer, there is a Sombra that they need to be concerned about.
I do like that most of the final blows from that last fight actually came from both the support lineups. Just
Probably.
dealing with the aggression being thrown at them. They were just able to convert so many kills. I think it was so close to seeing Irony get a takedown onto Prophet. Fitz was there, thankfully, to cover, to kick things off. But usually you see both the supports together. They were quite isolated there. I think it was less about having Fitz coming for protection. I think they were supposed to be double diving Irony, who just turned it on his head by landing a sleep dart. And it's something they've consistently done this series to relieve pressure on the dives that are coming in. And that's something that's been missing from the Seoul Dynasty this series, the ability to relieve pressure from the Pineapple Shive dive.
Okay, EMP out from Fitz, finds the supports, but where is the damage? It's not being offered up right now. There's no capitalization whatsoever, and they desperately need these picks off the backs of these ults. They don't find them. Irony and Teru, they keep themselves alive, and now they're about to have their ults online. The Nano going to be the first one. Teru, 6% off from that Transcendence now. As Shy gets himself in behind Smurf. Nano in response, Venheim tries to keep him in the mech, but it's just not enough. It's far too late. Smurf still does Pilot Pistol, Shy down. So they managed to make that a 1-for-1 in the end with Prophet falling, but now the Transcendence is up from Teru, looking to elongate the fight here for the Hangzhou Spark. Smurf going to be dealt with. The push once more happening. The contest is there from Prophet, but he needs to go nuclear. Then he cannot even touch the cart, and there you go. The push comes through. Dynasty, they do their damnedest to try to slow things up, but it is nowhere near enough. The Hangzhou Spark close out Eichenwald, and now they're looking to take the first series away from the Dynasty this whole stage.
I mean, Smurf needed the trigger discipline of a professional paintball player there to get the full auto on the Bunny Blaster, because it was a race against time to get that mech back. And even with the Transcendence to provide some insulation and keep them alive, unable to do it. They were just lacking a main tank for the contest, and it just all crumbles there at the end. Spark go to match point in 2 maps. Like, they are on the brink of 3-0ing the Seoul Dynasty, which is not a result anyone was expecting coming in for today.
With Pineapple starting, and he's playing all the maps. He's still going to be
Pineapple is
sticking
the
through.
difference maker!
Like, we haven't seen this guy in months! And he's still just looking impeccable. I criticized a little bit the pulse bomb sticks and whatnot on the first map, but he's definitely corrected that one because he's just consistently coming up with these kills in the back lines, just ripping apart Iris and Venheim time and time again. He's outpacing Prophet. He's lapping Prophet in these pulse bomb builds. Pineapple has been looking amazing so far, as has the Hangzhou Spark overall. I don't know what it is, but today it seems like the stars have aligned. The Dynasty now in a position, for the first time in the Countdown Cup qualifier stage, that they need to reverse sweep if they want to walk away victorious and maintain the win streak. So, pushed up against the wall, Hangzhou Spark, once more, it is in their hands. They have the capability to be able to close out this series. Do they get reverse swept once more? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. All I know is that Circuit Royale is coming up next. So maybe we'll cross our fingers and hope that we can see a bit of Shy v Fitz on the Widowmaker. We'll have to just wait and see what they do put together for us, though, on that Escort map. It's coming up in just a few minutes off the backside of this break, so do not go anywhere. Welcome back. We are in the upside down right now. I don't know. Vecna's magic is working something crazy because here we are, a 2-0 lead for the Hangzhou Spark. Seoul Dynasty now need to reverse sweep if they want to maintain their perfect record. And I'm not muted, so I don't know what's happening here. I should be audible. I will toggle it on and off.
You coming?
And hopefully that
coming on
works.
stream, Steph. Hopefully we'll get everything working.
I'm gonna keep going. And if there's a problem, we'll work it out in post. We'll do it in post. But
we'll fix it in
here
post.
we go. Map 3, Circuit Royale. Yeah, reverse sweep time for the side of the Dynasty if they want to get this win. All right, been told that everything is good.
We all the issues are resolved.
So there we go.
Yeah. Amazing.
Anyway, sorry, my
Circuit
mind's a little bit
Royale.
blown.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, it's to be expected. It's a turn of events. Pineapple's been in the hyperbolic time chamber for the entirety of the Summer Showdown. They've now come in at the end of a saga, just like Goku, and they've suddenly elevated the Spark, adding them another string to their bow with phenomenal Tracer play. We're on the cusp of seeing the 3-0 for the Spark, which is a result that no one saw coming into this one. Seoul Dynasty even forced to try out the Smurf Diva, which didn't really pay them dividends. Nice to see them go back to what Smurf is best at in this current meta, which is that Zarya. Nice little stat on the screen for you, though. 80% win rate on escort maps against the Spark this season. So, could become sick. I'm not going to do maths, but they could be making that a 4-2 scoreline. I can't divide 100 by 6. I'll just throw my hand up and admit that on the fly. You know?
It'd be, what, 15.6 repeating or something like that?
I think it's like 16.6 repeating.
I think it's 15. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway.
Someone who do maths, figure it out and let us know. Like, at one of us on Twitter.
Yeah, somebody crunch the numbers for us. Do our homework, nerds. We're too busy being on the football team. Anyway, gates are going to open up. It's going to be the time to see once more first on the attack. Prophet going back over to the Genji. Fits now onto that Sojourn. So while I was hoping for a little bit of Widowmaker action, it seems like there were no firm handshakes between the two squads. No gentleman's agreement established. Now, already some fire being sent over towards Teru's way. Hugs back around the corner behind the billboard. Keeps himself safe for now. Given the Diva, you're not really going to be able to play too far forward here, so Bernard just have to hold the corner, so drops back in with the rest of the squad as Prophet says, you know what, I'm just going to push up, try to farm for this blade, but damage-wise, hasn't gotten too much done.
They ignored Shy, and so he just got a free hack onto Prophet, nearly went down there, because you also saw Pineapple coming in again, that powerful potent dive duo. But there's a 5-man unit stacked on top of each other. It's going to be really hard to sneak a kill in between them. And that's what happens. Nice clip from Fitz. Takes out Shy.
Gets the headshot. Shy taken down. Good start. Now dive into the back lines. Prophet cuts through. Gets the headshot. Right click onto Teru. Now looks for Irony. Well, yes, he does get a nice little biodate down. It's just going to be them getting swept completely under the rug. Hack out from Shy. Prophet to nonplussed about this one. Continues to play forward, as that's going to be the cap coming through on to point A. So Dynasty looking a hell of a lot more like themselves here at the start of Circuit Royale. Now have over 5 minutes to work with as they go into the second phase.
We're going to try and push beyond the payload in this section of the map. You can see Smurf trying to hold the line at the top. The rest of the team are going to follow up nicely. Pineapple has a pulse bomb. We've already commented on the hit and miss nature of the connections with these. Finding a good stick could open up for Spark to retake control of the payload and begin to put a dent in this quite sizable time bank.
Dynasty now looking to continue to push forward, looking to run up that road or run up that hill, but Pineapple says nope. It's the kill here on Iris, takes him down. Fitz as well going to fall. Vinham only able to find one in exchange. A bit of a bloody back and forth between the two squads, but ultimately this is going to result in Smurf's demise, a reset on the energy, and the cart halted here at the midway point.
I wonder, actually, if they get caught on the road here, the terrain is not necessarily the most helpful to hide away from a Diva Bomb in this area of the map. So depending on where this gets skidded down the ramp, it could be quite difficult for Seoul to escape it. Might actually see some kill confirms coming in from that ultimate, which usually our pros are quite good at avoiding.
Well, ult's now coming online. About to be 5 for the Dynasty. And Spark desperately going to be in need of this transcendence from Teru. Takes a nasty chunk. Shy slinking around the back lines. EMP going to come out, manages to catch absolutely everyone. And that is going to be the retreat sounded here. The Prophet, the only casualty thus far. They're looking to still turn the tides of this fight. Nano goes out onto Smurf. Now the sound barrier dropped in from Vinham to try to survive. keep pushing aggressively. Grab somehow actually does get the catch onto Bernard as well. That's going to be the self-destruct now forced. Overclock, Pop looking for Irony, finally tracks him down. Fitz gets that kill. Here is going to be exchanged. This Hangzhou Spark not necessarily out of this fight, but with Pineapple getting clipped, that will be the breakthrough, and that should be the cap onto B. Once more, going to be a nasty time bank established for the Dynasty.
Lots of progress to be made here, looking at about 4 minutes 30 on the clock, moving into the final section. What's even worse as well is that Spark aren't really in a position to try and force that oppressive spawn cap you often see on point C. Prophet's found Shy as well, so there's no sign of clamping on the brakes for the Spark right now.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb would have been a good way to get some form of cart control here, slow things up a bit, and take some forward space for the Hangzhou Spark, but unfortunately for Pineapple, it does go wide, does not find the kill. Blade still held now. Nano about to be up from Irony, trying to keep somebody alive. Now rotating coast side just to try to get a wraparound flank here onto the Dynasty members and collapse in towards the cart. Fitz spotted, taking a couple shots, but Widely is going to be just fine as they continue to advance forward, getting ready to round that final corner now. Bernard making his exit. So still just going to be some free distance given up here as Prophet does get hacked out, but the damage just isn't there to find the kill. And oh man, the dash through the rail shot from Fitz. Pineapple taken down. Absolutely assassinated. Now Sleep Dart comes in, interrupts this blade. Bubble comes through, trying to keep him protected. Matero is energized. Man is just juiced up, and he's clicking heads. He finds Fitz for his troubles as well. Both the damage dealers taken down. He's looking for Smurf. Will end up falling, but he did enough. Smurf ends up crumbling under the pressure. The Hangzhou Spark will be able to win out the fight in the end.
You, in the third-person camera when you get slept, Prophet must have just seen a bubbled Nano's Teru, like charging up a right-click, coming into frame, and then bonking him on his head. Fantastic shutdown from Irony and Teru together there to make sure Prophet finds no value with that blade. Even after Fitz found that opening pick as well. Now Spark still need to wrestle control of the payload because they're on that home stretch. And Shy set up for that EMP, already getting himself around the back line, but still trying to dodge out the spy checking that's going on.
Okay, another great shot. Pineapple taken down, EMP thrown in by Shy. I think it only finds Fitz, actually. Will force the sound barrier all the same, and now the cart once more is pushing forward. There's still a very healthy time bank for the side of the Dynasty here. Overclock about to be online. Teru taken down, rail shot to the head. Looks for Shy, can't get it. Pulse Bomb will find Iris, but they need so much more than that. There's a setup once more as the rail shot goes through. The dash from Prophet finds the elimination, and that will be the finish. 2 minutes, 13 seconds here for the Dynasty, looking very much reinvigorated after the first two map losses. Seemingly finding their identity and their footing simultaneously. They get to the end of Circuit Royale.
Certainly a more reminiscent picture of the Seoul Dynasty showing up in Circuit Royale today. Sizable time bank with the completion on the map. Looked like sheer dominance. There was only maybe one fight where it felt like the Spark actually had control and pushed the Dynasty back. Outside of that, it's just the steam train keeps on rolling forward throughout the entire map. Really loving the Fitz changeover to the Sojourn. You saw the value coming in from the railgun shots. Lots of these opening picks onto people like Pineapple and Shy, just getting found out. And even when you're looking at the POV from them chunking through like targets like Burner, for example, that defense matrix cannot be up the entire time. You can just sit on the railgun for a bit, pump a shot into the Diva, and just chunk through the HP bar. Really like the lineup, and of course Prophet's just having fun on Genji right now. Beautiful change up on Circuit Royale. This is more of the Seoul Dynasty we want to see.
Very much is. Let's see, though. Okay, Pineapple flashing the Widow. I guess just going to go for the opening shot before he swaps back over onto the Tracer. But, man, wouldn't it be wonderful if he sticks with it? Imagine Pineapple just says, you know what? I'm just going to play Widow the whole map, and then just crushes.
5, 4.
That'd be pretty great. But don't think we're going to get to see that too much here. Gates open, Prophet burns the deflect, and Fitz swings the corner. I don't know why. But he gets taken down, and that's a huge opening for the side of the Hangzhou Spark now.
Like that Widowmaker out of spawn play is textbook on so many maps. Why would you chance it, even with the intel?
If Fitz is a Widow player,
okay,
he should know better than anybody else.
Yes. Okay, Okay, well, they've lost control of the Mega on the outer ring as expected because Shy's hacked that up, so it does mean that they are a little bit healing the Prior, and it creates an opening for Shy to just keep walking around here, recuperating some health, and then disappearing off into the distance. Prophet's not necessarily going to be able to spike check back 100%, and Pineapple's in range, so if he gets hacked, he's going to be isolated quite easily. But Shy's going up straight to the back line as expected, hacks up onto Iris, and draws some pressure back.
Okay, nice shot from Fitz. Will find Teru under an immense amount of pressure. Slides over to the side. Tracks Pineapple here, trying to dive into the back line. Let's try to get the kill on the Iris, but just can't quite make it happen. And Fitz with the primary fire will just be able to beam him down to the end. Good kill, space regained here from side of the Dynasty, and that is just going to be a massive recovery and a much needed one for them after the completely and utterly botched start to this.
God bless the ability of Fitz to just recover their mistake. Railgun comes in clutch, finds the pick, opens it up, able to play nicely around the pressure that Shy's exerting on the back line. That's more of what we want to see. Now Shy's just in position up in the way, up in the rafters, trying to find a target, going to sneak in, find his way into the back. Pineapple's got a pulse bomb, want to see a stick here, try and open it up for the spark even more. Oh, there you go.
Pulse bomb not going to get the connection that they're looking for. Prophet still gets taken down. Pineapple able to play off the back end. Finds that kill. Nanoed up Smurf. Gonna pick off onto Irony. Finds Shy as well to boot. 2 huge picks for him. Self-destruct now out onto the cart to try to buy some space. And Vinheim just can't tuck away. He can't make himself small enough to avoid the blast. Ends up falling. And that will be the cap here for the Hangzhou Spark. So overall, I'd say both sides widely recovering. Dynasty able to get themselves back into that defense, but Hangzhou Spark able to break through and still get a respectable time bank as they get ready to go up the hill.
It wasn't so much the fact that Vinheim just got caught by a clip. It's just that Vinheim actually had time to be able to leave the payload at that point, maybe, and just jump back round in the corner. I think he could have done it, but him just tucking away and just dying by a pixel, the confidence, the conviction, still being wrong is what's fantastic about that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Nice shutdown, overclock, interrupted, hack out, Fitz taking so much damage, but they do manage to keep him alive. Vinheim wisely still holds that ult in his pocket. Tries to get the nade behind to force Terra out of the line of sight. Doesn't work a treat, but now the Dragon Blade is pulled. Prophet just looking to keep the back lines covered there. Widely is not going to find too much because of the Transcendence out from Terra. They deny the damage. Now the EMP getting ready to get set up. Shy goes around back end. Just get detected for a brief little moment, but still widely unscouted. Opens up, so EMP held on to. Actually just translocates out.
He has to. That's unsustainable positioning there. He has to leave. The EMP, I don't think the team was ready for him to commit, so had to go after being spy checked, lingering a little bit too long in the background. And again, just applying some pressure and disappearing, then unable to commit to this EMP at the moment.
Still hold on to it. Vinheim, if he can avoid it, the sound barrier is at the ready. Pulse bomb stick is great, and that's Fitz. Taken down. Quick reactions from Pineapple. What a great opener for him. Now the EMP going to strike. Shy does get taken down, however, Smurf nanoed up. Still going to be a very big threat. And yeah, the tides of this fight are being turned. The Dynasty are coming out on top. Despite the hacks, Smurf with the nano and high energy is more than enough to shut down the Hangzhou Spark. Dives in on top of Irony. Iris will slurp the kill. Dynasty win out the fight once more, buying some more time for themselves. Down below 2.5 minutes now are the Hangzhou Spark. Cart not far off the mark. This is still vital for the Dynasty to find success on the map.
Yeah, all that high energy Smurf is bouncing around the field as well, able to get above these barriers and launch mortars from above. It's an impressive position for Azaria to be in. Needs to be challenged quite quickly, otherwise they're going to take so much damage on the entrance. You see Teru already taking a few shots, but they can play around the cover a little bit before moving up into the high ground. Smurf has that Graviton Surge. There is available to drop down an anti as well. Could be a big combo to burn another minute of this time bank if the fight gets extended.
Pineapple, 9% for the pulse. He's building this one up, needs to find a kill, and Shy, man, narrowly makes it out with his life intact. Nanobu's going to be invested, goes over towards Pineapple, now does have that ult ready to go. Takes the recall out.
No one caught with the grab.
Going to go wide. I think he was trying to get the catch here onto the Tracer, in fact. Doesn't get that connection, but Prophet dashing through will eventually get the assassination. Pineapple dead without being able to use the ult, and that's going to be the retreat sounded here for the rest of the Hangzhou Spark and the Dynasty. They smell blood in the water. They're pushing forward looking for these kills. Rail at the ready. Any pick from Fitz is still just a massive amount of time bought. Self-destruct going to be let loose into the back. They pull around the pillars. Everybody from the Dynasty widely able to avoid the explosion.
caught napping.
Sleep does connect onto Fitz. He's quite far forward, but they cannot get the kill. They can't play off the back of it. Pulse Bomb lobbed in a Hail Mary toss from Pineapple. Doesn't find a damn thing, and Smurf gets the catch. Pineapple taken out, and once more the Hangzhou Spark completely slowed down with now just 50 seconds remaining. There's a blade
They're
pull.
looking to get that Transcendence.
They're looking for the elimination. A couple swipes out onto Irony. They do force that Transcendence to come through, and Prophet does get shy right at the end of the ult for his troubles. Break onto Bernard's mech. And now they just go ahead and chew through everybody on the side of the Hangzhou Spark, just cleaning them up. The cart's still locked in place. 28 seconds remaining, Trid.
Yeah, last fight, EMP, probably going to get the nano boost online for Irony as well. The Spark have had this flipped on its head right now. They're struggling to find routes into point B. Smurf's about to have that Graviton Surge online in this clutch moment against the rush, the uncoordination, or the lack of coordination that comes from the Spark. That Graviton Surge, even if it's solo, will provide enough value. Vindame has the beat as well. This is going to be a big trade-up for the Spark if they're going to be able to try and push this over the line. Shy's in position with that EMP. They are constantly looking for the spy check. They leave him uncontested. He gets in position. I think that Spark's only way into this. Bernard's gone over to the Zarya, and Pineapple's gone down!
Dead. He is dead, and Smurf grabs Bernard away from the cart. The Dynasty deny the touch. They force the C9. Granted, they weren't winning that fight. Pineapple was already out, so it's not actually a C9 in the end. But wonderfully piloted here from the side of the Dynasty. Like I said, looking way more like themselves. This is what we anticipate from them in the first two maps. But they managed to find their identity here in map number 3. And now they are looking to engineer a reverse sweep. That is the first step of 3. We'll see if they can continue on their merry way, as I believe we have Coliseum coming up for our 4th map to see if they can make it happen. Otherwise, the Hangzhou Spark, I mean, this is unfortunately very familiar territory for them. They recently did suffer a reverse sweep, so now they're staring at another one, trying to shut down the best team in the region. Coliseum needs to be the staging grounds for them to close this set out. Otherwise, the Dynasty are going to be looking to take us to a map 5. So we'll see what happens when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues in just a few. idiot. Anyway, there we go. Hi, I was muted. That was on my end. But one map win for the side of the Dynasty is what I was saying. They're looking to pull off a reverse sweep. Now we're going to be going into Coliseum, which is our push map, to see whether or not they can keep making this happen, try to take us into a Game 5, or if the Hangzhou Spark will be able to close out a series versus the top dogs and stop themselves from getting reverse swept yet again.
Yeah, it's going to be heartbreak for the Spark fans if this happens twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not enjoying that at all in the slightest. But Seoul Dynasty seem rejuvenated after what we could potentially call the halfway point moving into Circuit Royale. Definitely showing much better signs of life. Fitz bringing the Sojourn to the table, breath of fresh air, music to my ears. Fantastic performance on that, being able to hit the railgun shots, take down all these early picks. They've tidied up some of the backline sloppiness we saw earlier on in the series.
Yes.
The combination of Shy and Pineapple being able to just pick off Vindame and Iris has been completely muted. It's been reduced to the point where it's a non-factor in a lot of these fights now. Great improvements as the series has gone on. If they keep this form, they're probably going to end up reverse sweeping. But as we move on to Coliseum, it's a new opportunity for the Spark to come out here and show us how good they were at the beginning of this series. They're keeping Pineapple in the roster, so at this point, I'm going to throw it out there and say we won't see Alpha Yi today. It seems like they're just sticking with Pineapple. I don't see a reason to change. I don't think Pineapple was the issue in the last map. So play them out in Coliseum. Let's see them try and close this one out, because they are still at match point and they can still end the series here.
They absolutely can, and I agree. You know, there's a bit more disjointedness, I think, team-wide from the side of the Hangzhou Spark there on Circuit Royale, but also just the Dynasty playing like the team that we know and love. So it's hard to fault the Hangzhou Spark when the Dynasty seemingly start firing on all cylinders. We'll see how they fare, though, because, again, Hangzhou Spark closing out these matches, these series, has been a major difficulty for them so far in this phase of the season. If they can get it done now, beat the #1 team in the region, a lot of the sins of the past are going to be forgiven.
Well, here's the rollout for them. Composition's looking very similar. They're rolling out with their best comps each from what we've seen in the series so far. The Genji Sojourn combination is working out for Profit and Fitz. There's no reason to change it up. And of course, Bernard's going to go back to the Diva after a brief foray into the Zarya at the end of that last map.
10 minutes on the clock. Let's see who is going to be able to come out on top here. There's some minor skirmishing to open things up. Shy getting himself around into the back line, trying to get a spot, but okay, Terror just does the work for him. Still does find the hack. Profit gets on top of Shy immediately, does find the punish, so 1 for 1, but with the support taken down. It's going to be the Hangzhou Spark able to push first and foremost, so they go ahead and start getting a bit of distance. Profit chasing for it, tries to get that assassination onto Pineapple, can't quite make it happen. And just like that, Dynasty pull away. Or rather, the Hangzhou Spark pull away, Dynasty get on top of the bot.
Well, they're going to keep pushing against Bernard's keeping the presence there to try and push it back a little bit. Terror off to the side, sitting nice and comfortably at the back. Let's hit these long-range dinks. Pineapple's dancing in the front line. Profit's been muted a little bit by that anti-nade coming out from Irony. So far, no explosive crescendo to these fights just yet. The bot is fairly just stagnant in the middle until these picks start to open up. Smurf are being applied pressure with the micro-missiles. Might be enough more than he can shoot, though. Bernard about to go down.
Oh, he's so damn low. The sleep dart connects, but they're just not getting on top of him. They're going to leave him down on the floor. Now the Nano is going to be coming through from Irony. Iris not quite having one of his own. Now the hack comes in as well, trying to pressure out this Ana with the pulse bomb. That will do the trick. Pineapple finally able to get that elimination. You can see how many people contributed to the kill.
Yeah, Iris just got jumped.
Yeah, really had to work for
there.
it. They get it at the end. Nice anti-out on the 2. Fitz taken down. And the Hangzhou Spark, they start getting quite a bit of distance now.
I'll roll this payload forward. Push the barricade forward. Another opportunity for the Seoul Dynasty to stop them before they reach the checkpoint. But if they lose this next fight, forward spawns will be unlocked for the Spark, and that's where it gets a little bit dicey for the Dynasty. Headshots chase down, nearly get the kill. The recall allowed Pineapple to escape. Profit will be backed up by Vindame. He jumps into the backline, close to a beat of his own. So Ultimate's coming online for the Dynasty to sustain themselves in this next fight. Really looking towards that blade from Profit to be muted by Teru.
Okay, there's the overclock
he has
start.
the time.
Teru taking a shot. It's going to be a little bit too late.
Too late.
Bernard in this mech, but escorts him, make sure that he can go ahead and remech after the self-destruct. Fitz gets taken down. Now the Nano Blade's going to be pulled instantly. They find the kill onto both supports. Profit carving up the back lines. Looks for a little bit more. Will be able to get the break here onto Bernard's mech. So there's 3 as he looks for a little bit more. Dash forward. Pineapple played right up close and personal with him. Profit. A casual little glance to the left side as he manages to track him down. Get the finish with the melee hit. Seoul Dynasty finally able to really start pushing the 40 meters precisely, actually, to go ahead and try to take the lead. We'll see if they can get it done.
I think it's the first time in this series we've seen Seoul Dynasty be able to force the Transcendence without the Blade, which enabled Profit to get the overlap once the Transcendence expired, and then you finally get the Nano Blade combination in there. It shows how deadly it can be. Spark are probably going to want to hold on to that one next time.
EMP finds 4, but Fitz just turns to the side casually. Gets a rail shot to go ahead and take down Shy. Will be traded quickly, however, as Pineapple gets another pulse bomb stick into a follow-up kill onto Smurf. The grab once more taken out of the equation. The bot in the hands of the Hangzhou Spark. They do not let the Dynasty gain too much distance. They make it just over halfway to tying.
Yeah, nice counterattack there from the Spark. Immediately, Nano Boost still available. Bernard tends to be the typical target for this one from the Spark lineup. Just add that extra potency to the offenses. Double expires, Fitz goes down, no healing.
No healing, and Pineapple just wreaking havoc. It's basically unaccounted for right now by the Dynasty. Nano going to be used, goes over to Bernard, instantly makes use of it, finds the kill on the Iris, helps take down Smurf. The bot is going to be potentially making it to the checkpoint here off this push.
Should be able to, especially if they got that clearance. I mean, look how much support Burner got in there as well. Discord Orb onto Smurf, Nano Boost as well. There's no way that Azario can sustain against that much damage and that much attention. Payload not being pushed, they kind of expired it a little bit. Terror's in range now to take over the pushing responsibilities. Checkpoint going to be unlocked shortly, but it's being contested by the Seoul Dynasty. Grab committed to that one as well. They will get the kills.
It does come out. They do manage to find Terror, but now Fitz going to be taken down. It's a lot of back and forth here. Bernard did get eliminated by Vinheim. They deny the remake, but Smurf just so very low. No healing coming through. Vinheim, he's busy killing people. Finds Pineapple. The bot does get taken here from the side of the Dynasty. They deny the cap on that checkpoint. They start shipping it back. Vinheim playing by himself, but I mean, you can see just how far away everybody is right now. He gets the bot into a neutral position and then goes to Taxi, Smurf, and Profit.
Shy's in the background, lurking as always. Finding opportunity in the backline to apply some pressure and make the Dynasty fold in on themselves and play protective.
Iris receives the bubble from Smurf, does stay alive. Shy looks for the hack. Keeping him at arm's length for now. Iris just holds on to this. The Nano Blade combo at the ready. They throw it. It's ahead of the Transcendence. Profit, however, getting turned around a little bit. Can't quite find Irony. Gets him in the end, but then there's just so much collapse there from the side of the Hangzhou Spark. They get on top of the Genji. They shut him down, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 at the end of it all. Now Teru using the Transcendence, trying to keep everybody alive as the overclock is popped. Fitz so very low. Soundberry's shield does come in to try to keep him alive, but the EMP negates it all, and Fitz ends up falling. Dynasty
finding four there.
Just getting pressured out. Smurf trying to play the front lines, does have high energy, but needs to be able to find a kill. Gets on top of Teru, does get the elimination there. Opens things up a little bit more here for the squad. Nano Boost out onto Bernard. Still holds on to that self-destruct should he get demech'd, which it seems like it's inevitable that he will. D-Matrix buys him a little bit of extra time, but actually saves it for a follow-up fight, it would seem. Knows that they still have quite a bit of distance here. Over top of the Dynasty. Pineapple finds two. Profit, Vinheim, both going to be taken down. The Pulse Bomb able to get him, and it wasn't even a stick. I think Vinheim might have dove on top of that.
Thankfully, the Smurf is able to shut that down afterwards. Shy picking up another kill. This really mutes the push from Dynasty. They needed to be able to win consecutive fights to try and challenge the distance that the Spark has, but if they keep losing members on their offense, they don't have the cohesive push, they're not able to maximize the distance, and that's really going to be a problem for them on a map type like push, where every meter, every second of push time counts because of how long you have to be, or how long you have to go before you get points on the board.
Almost gets up there. He almost gets the spawn camp assassination on the Fitz. Still under pressure, still needs some healing. See, Iris trying his damnedest. Profit able to open things up, does find Irony. Teru going to be taken down. Smurf, Profit able to finally really get themselves into a pushable position, as they will finish off Bernard. Hangzhou Spark still just poking and prodding where possible, buying some more time for themselves. Can start pushing forward now.
Don't get picked off here. Don't get picked off one by one here. Like, if you take a full 5v5 fight to the next push, you can probably win that and get the checkpoint. You got to self-destruct against the grab. That fight, in theory, goes the way of Seoul Dynasty if it's played perfectly. They just need to get themselves over the line.
EMP, though.
EMP can be the
massive.
shutdown for them.
Shy is just basically sitting in stealth, waiting to take this one up naturally. Does finally get involved a little bit more.
Oh, they went for it!
Bernard, okay. Grab does get the catch-up, but there's no follow-up. Prophet now holding on to the pulse bomb. There's the EMP. Goes across. Benhaim has the sound barrier on the back end, but they cannot save Fitz. He ends up falling. Teru taken down by Smurf. A 1-for-1, now a 2-for-1 special as the supports are out of the fray. Bernard can't get anything with the self-destruct. Gets the remech off, but now he's playing by himself. Shy looking to rejoin the fight, but without their supports, they're very much exposed and at risk. There's the break on the mech, the finish on the Baby Diva, and suddenly the checkpoint very much obtainable here for the side of the Seoul Dynasty as they look to take the lead. Just 2 meters left to go. The lead, now there's the checkpoint going to be obtained. There's the forward spawns for them as well. And they're continuing to play the card. They know that this is still so damn close, they have to get some extra distance.
100%, 100 and, well, 130 seconds. 1 minute 30 left. I was going to say 130 seconds, but that's not accurate. 1 minute 30 left on the clock for them. Still play out this map. Seoul Dynasty in control. Big Smurf tried to big brain that last time and kind of catch Shy with that grab, which is why it was yeeted out, and actually Bernard went into it after the fact. Trying to catch a decloaking Sombra and make sure they shut it down and stop the mobility and maybe mitigate some of the impact of that EMP. Still went out there afterwards. Pulse bomb thrown in, forces the Transcendence.
Yep, they do force that one out, but Fitzy's got the EMP for the back end of this fight. Nano now online from Iris as well. Throws that out, goes to Smurf. So far, EMP still going to be held. Pulse bomb goes for it from Pineapple, but the bubbles are there. They managed to absorb it, but now Bernard nanoed up, gets on top of the supports, finds the eliminations. Recall force from Prophet as he tries to get out of here with his life intact. Seems like he will be safe for now. It's 16 meters the lead right now for the Dynasty as the Spark starts shipping the bot back across into neutral territory.
This is going to be so rough for the Spark, though, Seth. They are going to probably end up, if they win, they're doing it in overtime, without a doubt. This is going to be quite a long fight, necessarily. If it wins their way, they have to go against an EMP and a grab in this next engagement, and they need to win probably 2 more fights to actually surpass the distance the Seoul Dynasty have done. But Teru's been found out. They might not even get 1 fight win.
Yeah, they might not. Bernard was trying to keep him covered with that D-Matrix, but it's just not enough. The damage makes its way through. They find the pick. The bot once more taken by the Dynasty. 8 seconds now remaining. Like you said, overtime is where it's going to have to be if the Hangzhou Spark want to bring this map back. Otherwise, the Dynasty are very much looking to close things out. The bot, again, nearly pushed into a position where they will have the forward spawn. The grab comes in. They get the catch on the Shy. They find that elimination. The EMP taken out of the equation. Contest is there from the high ground from Bernard. This cheesy spot continues to work for them. It's Pineapple. Swings around the back. The bot taken for now. But here's the cleanup. Both supports, eliminated. Low energy here from Smurf, but he's not too bothered by it. Again, the bot grabbed by the Dynasty. Pulse bomb at the ready. The EMP finally comes in from Shy. He does get the elimination on the Fitz, but they lose Pineapple moments before. Self-destruct thrown in. Looks to go ahead and clear them out, but it also clears out the Hangzhou Spark, and the OT bleeds away. The Seoul Dynasty win on Colosseo, and they will be taking us to a map 5. 1 more round of control as we get ready to go to Nepal to see whether or not they can pull off the reverse sweep, or if the Hangzhou Spark can stop the door from slamming in their faces.
Spark taking a trip through memory lane, but the memory is still fresh for them. They're about to get reverse sweeped. Yeah, yeah, you can call it that. It's definitely for the Spark fans. Nah, that works. Taking a jog through that one, they were sprinted through 2 buildings of just being reverse swept constantly. Lining up for it to happen once more. Seoul Dynasty have definitely found the Michael Jordan secret sauce in the break time, and they're able to get themselves all juiced up and ready to go. Yeah, good old Space Jam reference here on whatever time zone you're in right now, because we are a global broadcast. Yeah, fantastic performance by them. Hangzhou Spark definitely showing a lot more of what we saw early on in the series. Not quite Circuit Royale levels of domination from the Dynasty. Could make quite a competitive closer, especially how the first control map went for the Spark.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be a bit concerning, to say the least, here for the Hangzhou Spark. As you say, just familiar territory. Once again, not a position that they want to be in, but can they close it out? They did look very strong on that initial round of Oasis, that initial map, I should say, being able to take it. So can they do it again now that we shift our sights to Nepal? There's only one way to find out, and that's to stay tuned, because it's coming at you guys in just a few minutes, so do not go anywhere. are back, and as prophesized, I suppose, at the beginning of this broadcast, here we are in a Game 5. We've been having so many of these, and that is going to continue here this evening, it would seem, as the Dynasty are currently trying to pull off a reverse sweep. Hangzhou Spark, 2-0 lead at the beginning, and it's just kind of steadily fallen apart from there. Like you mentioned, Tread, before the break, looking a bit more alive, a bit more competitive there on Coliseum compared to Circuit Royale, but now it all comes down to this. It's a best of one to decide who is going to be walking away victorious and who's going to be a bit embarrassed, because this would be the first loss for the Dynasty here in the Countdown Cup qualifier, and this would also be the second reverse sweep in a row, I believe now, for the Hangzhou Spark. So either way, somebody's not going to be happy at the end of this.
Yeah, which is sad. You want to try and make sure that all teams have good enjoyment out of the series, but there can only be one winner and one loser when it comes to most competitions, to be honest. I was going to say this is the game of Overwatch, but just a universal concept in sport, I guess. We move over to Nepal. Our first clearance is going to be the good old Sanctum. And to be honest, I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, what is happening here? I think we might have a refire on the lobby.
Yeah,
getting
we
ready to
might
come
do,
out.
actually. Okay, everything's back to normal. There was some silliness happening.
They were waiting. I guess it went into a skirmish mode while they were waiting for everybody to spawn in.
Right, so what you
Interesting.
didn't see was on our second feed, where we could see the game lobby, we have things like Junkrat, Doomfist, and we heard a lot of like action and death going on. And I think Seth did what I did, which was looking at the UI and going, "Are we in game already? What's happening here?"
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming. I imagine we'll not see any of the silly compositions. Like I said, Sanctum, Nepal is our first destination. Seoul Dynasty going to be having the exact same composition they ran out of in the latter half of this series, where they found all of their success. Let's be real. Spark, however, probably going to revert back to the composition where they found the most success as well. So it's this clash of styles that both of these teams are bringing together, where the Dynasty has definitely had the upper hand in this series. Don't do it, Bernard. Are you actually going to bring us this? A resurgence?
Nope.
No!
Okay.
I was really hoping we saw the Junker Queen again.
It's a mild debate, I suppose. Just shows us the Queen for a little moment there, swaps away from it. So, yeah, just doesn't have the gall. He doesn't have the guts to run it. Native to the back
he's
line.
playing a different kind of
get
Queen.
clipped by that one.
See the lineup here. Already at 100 charge, first railgun shot. Will there be a dink? Don't show around the corner. Nice head on the swivel as well. They're keeping the intel of where Pineapple's hiding.
Oh, okay. Rail shot
Help
sent out.
profit.
Shy able to translocate away from that one, so avoids death. Now it's going to be Prophet occupying the point, looking for the cap. A couple orbs being sent his way there by Terror, trying to really bully him out of that position, stop the lockdown from coming through. And now the full contest will be there as Bernard goes jumping forward.
On the point. Bernard just being a mass at the moment. Can only soak up so much damage with the defense matrix. They are
really
stopping the cap from coming through. Something's got to
denying
give.
it all
His
away.
Prophet.
Okay, well, there's the first blood coming through. Shy finally able to find an elimination. Anti out on the 2, and that should be the cleanup. Fitz will give a parting gift over to Irony with that rail shot to the head, but Vinheim playing forward like this, likely gonna die, but actually looks like maybe he's okay. He's going for the boop off, almost gets Bernard, but he gets the jets back in and keeps himself alive. The cap finally comes through. Hangzhou Spark once more going to be able to start things off.
A really long first fight. Usually control points don't stay uncapped for that long. But Spark got a lot of resources set up in order to hold on to it now. Pulse Bomb, Self-Destruct, Nano Boost, Transcendence, and you know, we're getting close to that EMP being online as well. So the whole buffet for the Spark. And if they whiff this, I'll be very disappointed, Seth. They should be walking away with a fat dump from this fight and a big EMP to kick it off.
And it is absolutely massive. Vinheim trying to wall ride, trying to keep Pineapple at an arm's length, but eventually does go down, and that is going to be the team kill in all likelihood. As Prophet, cannot stay alive. Iris respawning, tries to keep him in the fight, but is cleaned up in the end. And that is an extended team wipe, and very much control held by the Hangzhou Spark now at 38%.
And they were able to do it with 2 ultimates. They have 3 left to cycle. Looking good for the Spark to build up even more progress. Take it down to that final fight territory. Pulse Bomb to find a pick. Self-destruct to keep that stickiness on the point. And Transcendence is going to be used to answer this blade.
That it is. Bernard not quite in the healing, but gets over to it. Pineapple finds the pickoff. Fitz going to be taken down. The blade combo not going to get a damn thing done for the side of the Dynasty. Prophet just ends up inting forward, looking for the faster reset. They need to reset quickly because this is Final Fight territory. Smurf trying to stay alive, but he goes down. Now it's 70%. Hangzhou Spark looking to dominate in this first round.
This is priced in for the Seoul Dynasty, though, Seth. First round of Control, it's always a write-off for them, apparently. And we're seeing more of that now, even in map number 5. Graviton Surge and the Overclock available. Remember, Overclock Railgun shots just pass straight through targets. It does mean that if there's a Graviton Surge and a mass of people, they're all going to be feeling the hurt from that Railgun shot. So it could be a good combo to use here, and they're going to need it. 10% remaining. Final fight, potentially, of this round.
Yeah. And even if they get the flip, it's still going to be a very long road for the Dynasty. They're trying to win this one out. Shy gets the hack on a Prophet. They take him down. The Overclock now going to be popped. The OT force. Fitz under fire, under pressure. They try to keep him alive. Pulls up from Pineapple, not going to find the connection. There's the self-destruct let loose. Bernard, the Baby Diva, going to be lost. Smurf does find Shy before getting eliminated. Now they need to stay glued to the point. Fitz goes rolling forward. The Nano is out. Pineapple anti, but doesn't give a damn. Just turns his sights to Fitz, finds Prophet. There's the cleanup. There's the round 100-0. Hangzhou Spark looking hungry, starving to be able to deny this reverse sweep.
Just give Pineapple player of the match if Spark win, actually. We're having a bit of a debate about it. I actually think if Spark win and Pineapple continues playing like that into this next round or maybe a round 3, just give it to him. I think he's earned it, coming back from such a long hiatus to be able to then just dominate this series. When Pineapple is playing well and taking over, Spark are winning. They are winning decisively as well. 100-0 shutout against Dynasty to settle this tiebreaker is a phenomenal start for them. They can close it out on Village or even Shrine. Jobs are good and hand it over to him. What a return to form for Pineapple.
Well, now out the gate. So pushing forward again, swapping back over to the Sojourn Genji combination. We'll see if they get pressured off this once more. Prophet trying to play forward, takes a nasty chunk of damage. The bubble's there from Smurf to keep him covered and build up some energy. For now, the Hangzhou Spark widely going to be contained inside. It's Prophet dukes it out just there at the bottom left of the screen against Pineapple. He's looking to build up towards that pulse. Already about to be a third of the way there. Widely still zoned back are the Hangzhou Sparks. The Dynasty, now that the point is unlocked, can go ahead and try to get this early contest. Prophet dove on. Covering heals do come through. Shy going to be taken down after getting the hack here onto Iris, so Dynasty should get first grabs.
There's a rotation over to the point as well. Captured a lot faster than what we saw on Sanctum. Progress ticking up for Dynasty. They are on the board in Nepal. Settle up in that back corner. Find an opportunity for Shy to get in there, cause some disruption. Pineapple also forcing someone to answer. Quite easy for Fitz to be able to take some stray shots. Not many hiding spots on that point for Pineapple to dash behind. We'll take the fight to Fitz.
Just continuing to try to draw some attention. Does get them down off that high ground. Ear is falling low, and there's a nade layered in. Irony beautifully lobbed. They find the execution. Ear is now taken out of the fight. Irony already with the Nano at the ready. Throws it out. Goes to Bernard. Looks for a target. Goes dashing through. Self-destruct now. Built up and Fitz. Falls to the rocket. Sound barrier from Vinham a little bit too late to make the Sojourn in this fight. Still trying to win things out, but like you mentioned, no hiding spots. So this self-destruct, when it comes out, can find an immense amount of value and clear them out. But Teru as well is just an absolute terror. Comes up with 2 quick picks, and that's going to be the flip coming through for the Hangzhou Spark. Dynasty set up at 47%.
Yeah, Prophet just trying to potentially find a last-minute pick there onto Shy. Took him down to the point where life support was needed, and Shy still staying strong, so unable to get taxation on the back end of that. Not to be worrying too much for the Seoul Dynasty fans. A lot of tools in their arsenal to go for the retake here. We're expecting Teru to use that Transcendence directly for Prophet's Blade to try and shut that down as an option. Now, they can do what they do on Circuit Royale and force it beforehand. Big value, but there it is. That's the interaction we were expecting.
The Nano Blade comes in, but now he's going to be hacked. The Transcendence is there to try to keep him protected. EMP out from Shy. He's instantly dealt with. Smurf finds that kill. Still holds the grab for now, and Irony's going to get picked off. So the Dynasty are looking for the flip back here into their favor, and they should be able to get it done. Pineapple, sliver of HP, ends up falling. The flip is there. 38% for the Hangzhou Spark, but now 50% for the Seoul Dynasty as they continue to climb.
Big return to form for them. Grab Overclock as the options for them. Nano Boost available for Irony in this next engagement, surely. unable to really capitalize off the blade, but it was enough to force the resources, and then they had to clean up afterwards. So all
There's
the
the
same
attention
for Seoul
draw
Dynasty,
again.
as long as they win the fight. Yep. See Shy already on the point.
Pineapple just
Pineapple
trying to
as well.
keep them occupied here. Brings Vinheim down off the ground. Vince left
First to
by
kill.
himself. The lobbing for the stick. Iris taken down as well. They do get Pineapple, but is that going to be enough? The grab's still going to be held. The ante clips onto the 3 remaining members of the Dynasty as they look for the cleanup. Smurf taken down. There's a massive energy reset here. As Vinheim just tries to buy as much time as he possibly can, but eventually gets hacked, finished off by Teru. And that's going to be the flip, just shy of OT. Dynasty get to 97. Hangzhou Spark again take control.
Tracer for Ana, we take those trades, Seth. We take those trades. You got value out of there. You got to think about the distance time to get back to the spawn when it comes in for the second wave of reinforcements as well. When you get anti-nated and you just have a Lucio to try and sustain the team once that expires, you're not going to be able to heal him up fast enough. You're such a deficit, you just lose. And oh, what a shot!
Gets the shot there on the Shy, but they need so much more. Self-destruct going to be pulled here by Vinheim. Or rather, the sound barrier, I should say, is going to be pulled by Vinheim. Bernard still holding on to the self-destruct. Hasn't found the use for it yet. They use the ults, but it doesn't get them into position. It doesn't get them over towards the point at all. Dynasty still need to fight their way back over to this one. And Teru's getting closer and closer to that next Transcendence.
I'm here. Keep fighting.
A pick onto him early would be massive. 83% now for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. Just 14% now away from being able to complete this series and deny the reverse sweep, taking down the top dogs in the APAC region. Smurf going to be taking an apple. Sleep Dart goes through. Self-destruct sent out over the top from Bernard. Blade pulled from Profit. Avoids the explosion. But needs to avoid dying. Down 20 HP. The heals do come through. They keep him alive. Iris sends out the nano. Goes over to Smurf. The pulse bump from Pineapple. Manages to find the kill. Transcendence still going to be held by Teru. The flip needs to happen here for the Dynasty if they want to keep things going. Transcendence now out from Teru. Shy eliminated. Bernard contesting on the high ground. The melee hits come through. He finds the kill here on the Vince. The D-Matrix comes in. They keep him covered. Smurf going to be taken down. Teru is absolutely dominating. Vinheim finds one, a parting gift, but the OT will bleed away, and the Hangzhou Spark, they put their feet down. They say, not today, good sirs. Not twice in a row for us. We will not be reverse swept. They managed to find a victory for themselves here in the Countdown Cup qualifier. They stop the reverse sweep, and they take down the #1 team in the region, the Seoul Dynasty. 3-2 victory, Hangzhou Spark.
This was supposed to be a 3-0 for the Seoul Dynasty if you asked anyone ahead of the series. Hangzhou Spark bringing in Pineapple and having a fantastic performance. Not only did Pineapple step up to the plate, Teru actually had a monster of a series at the end there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Ladder in the earlier stages of the series. Both player of the match candidates there. I think the big difference maker at the end there, Seth, was that they were able to deal with the Prophet Blade without actually popping that Transcendence. The fact that Prophet was kept at such low HP, didn't have the confidence to move over, couldn't play as aggressively, didn't need to pop the Vital Ultimate. When it came down to the main crux of the fight, what does Teru still have in the back pocket? Didn't even need to use it for the Grav still to keep his team sustained. They were able to then throw that into the mix and provide overwhelming healing to close out the fight and seal the deal for the Spark. And we got confirmation of who our player of the match is as well, Seth, and it doesn't really surprise me at all.
Yeah, I think that this could have gone one of two ways, either Teru or Pineapple, but it will be the latter who is able to scoop it up. So, I mean, the guy is gone for months on end. We don't see him for an eternity, but he comes back in, and like I said, it seems like a day has not gone by since he's been playing. Just incredible performance from Pineapple. Found his footing going into the second map, was able to really get some sticks. The opening shot onto Circuit Royale as well. Obviously didn't lead to a victory on the map, but was a very good way for him to start things off. But what an incredible performance from this guy who we haven't gotten to see too much of. It seems like in the scrims, Pineapple seemingly just having some better performances compared to Alfie when it comes down to the Tracer. This is widely what they have decided to do. That's
what
a wild stick. Didn't even see that one. But, yeah, just impeccable performance from him and was very instrumental in Hangzhou Spark being able to get this win.
Yeah, I think, Seth, we might be seeing a little bit more of Pineapple, perhaps, as we move into the rest of the Countdown Cup. It's working out well for the Spark. They took down the #1 team in the region this stage and overall, and they've historically been having a bit of a slump against the Seoul Dynasty this season as well. So Pineapple been a huge difference maker for them, but like I said, there are other members on the team who had more playtime, who stepped up today. Stats, absolutely huge.
I mean, 100 limbs, and he got 51 of the final blows of that, so is just over, at that 51% mark. Absolutely incredible from him. 12 pulse bomb kills off of 13 attaches, and that one that got denied away was a bubble from Smurf to stop the explosion from getting a kill onto, I want to say it was Iris. Absolutely impeccable performance here from Pineapple, and I, for one, am right there with you, Tread. I am very happy to continue to see this guy